June 22nd, 1981. Morning. This consciousness and I amness are due to what? What is the basic material necessary for that to sprout? It is the 5 elements, the 3 gunas, and the prakriti purusha, the form and formless. All those result in this space, I am. What do you have except memory? The memory is the result of the 5 elements and 3 gunas, the 8 aspects. So when that basic material is available, only then is memory there, memory of anything. And finally, most important, the memory that you are. Presently, the feeling that you are is also a memory. To sustain that memory of I am, all these raw materials are necessary. You are not that I am. You are as the absolute prior to this I am. This I amness is the product of these raw materials. But you as absolute are not that. At the most you might say I am, but what is this I am? I is merely a word. In the first instance, there are words, and then there is merely a memory. Memory you are not. Who has been able to retain his memory as I am? Once all that raw material has gone, where is that memory I am? Your most essential step is to stand firmly on your identity as the dynamic, manifest consciousness principle. Stabilize only here. This is the first step. There is nothing else but the knowledge that you are. Just be that. Nothing more, nothing less. One cannot see rays of light as such. They reflect only when they encounter another object. Similarly, I amness is the interruption because of these 5 elements and 3 gunas. That is why the feeling I am is felt. But without the feeling of I am, still you are. Light itself emanates from the sun. Everything is stored. The 5 elements are there. Therefore it is reflecting as the sun. Brightness is seen as the sun because something is there. If something were not there, the rays of light would be spread all over and become invisible as a source of light. Mahakash is the infinite space. The infinite space is dark. It is as dark as when you close your eyes. In that physical space, all the universe arises and sets and is destroyed. Finally, what is the result of all the experiences that are going on in the play of consciousness? They are just gone, ending up in pure space. The whole world is in an ever-changing state. No form will remain permanently. Finally, all the forms will vanish in space and become formless. I am talking directly from my own experience, not from any books. Millions of people, animals, and other beings have come and gone. But the sum total of the universe, has it become more or less? It remains unchanged and has never become less. Always there. With all these millions of forms in the world, can my image be left permanently? Presently, you have only the feeling of I amness. And because of that feeling, the whole world is manifested. Once the millions of people have gone, what traces are left of them? Let us forget spirituality for the time being. Among all my experiences, I had the occasions for joy, happiness, and miseries. What part of the miseries or happiness still remains? One who has transcended the consciousness, or one who has seen the end of this. For such a one, where is there the question of any gain or loss? I know full well that this knowingness will not remain. I abide in that knowing state. So, this being the case, where is the question of one's engaging in activity? With such a spiritual orientation, can one be affected by worldly or family life? June 22nd, 1981, p.m. Both experience and experiencer will disappear. I will not elaborate further. Changes get expressed in the consciousness, and so consciousness becomes subtler and subtler. Forms get dissolved. The first step on the road to spirituality is to develop that conviction that I am not the male or the female. Looking outside for light and sound, all disciples undergo some spiritual experience, and that itself is bondage. They compare their experiences with others. Those disciples think they are very advanced. They are attracted to the experiences of sound and light and such things because they identify themselves with the body. They want to shape and design. Therefore, they revel in experiences which indicate shape and design. You should be like space. If you pay attention to things external to you, you will be carried away. If you are the space and not the body, then at that stage the body does not remain as the body, because there is nobody to evaluate the body as body. In the Chit Akash, the great space of consciousness, you evaluate the world as name and form. But when name and form are dissolved, a dissolution takes place. All forms dissolve in Mahakash. you evaluate a form that it is like this or like that. When evaluation is not there, the mind is not there. It is like space. Chittakash is that raw material by which you evaluate whatever you experience or whatever you observe. In the process of becoming more subtle, the external forms are dissolved into Mahakash. No more names and forms. Simultaneously, the process of evaluation and mind functioning stops, dissolves itself into Chittakash. When both Mahakash and Chittakash become still, it is space only, and you are the space. Because of the external body, the I amness is felt. However, in the absence of the body, the I amness is still there without feeling I am. I am ever prevailing. June 23rd, 1981. Just as you are not the clothes that you wear, similarly, you are not this body. This is the most important step. You will slowly realize you are just like space, because space is the beginning and the end of everything. Suppose you are sick. You want to know all about your sickness. The more serious the sickness, the more you would like to know about it. Similarly, this I amness is also like a sickness. Now you must begin to collect knowledge about that. How do you begin? Start with the body. From the body you get the knowledge of I am. In this process you become more and more subtle. When you are in a position to witness the knowledge I am, you have reached the highest. In this way you must try to understand, and then the seeds of knowledge will sprout in you. When you come to the end of material world knowledge, at that stage you transcend the observer and the observed. That means that you are in a true state of beingness. Thereafter you enter the state of transcending beingness, where the identities of the observer and observed disappear. Suppose somebody abuses you and you find out who it is. Is it the body? It is not the body. Then what could it be? Finally, you come to the conclusion that it is spontaneously happening out of whatever that body is. You will not attribute it to any individual. When your individuality is dissolved, you will not see individuals anywhere. It is just a functioning in consciousness. If it clicks in you, it is very easy to understand. If it does not, it is most difficult. It is very profound and very simple, if understood correctly. What I am saying is not the general run of common spiritual knowledge. When you reach a state when body is transcended, mind is transcended, and consciousness also is transcended, from then on, all is merely happening out of consciousness, which is the outcome of the body, and there is no authority or doership. When a sound is emanating out of the body, it is not that somebody is talking. It is just words emanating, just happening, not doing. If you understand the basis thoroughly, it will lead you very far, deep into spirituality. The absolute alone prevails. There is nothing but the absolute. The unmanifest manifested itself. That manifest state is Guru, and it is universal. Who is the one who recognizes this body-mind? This I amness, which recognizes the body-mind, is without name and form. It is already there. June 25th, 1981. I am inspired to talk, but I have no energy. But whatever I say will be so profound that very few people will understand. To start with, everything happens in the space of the cosmos, and it results in concrete actions of the worldly space. All this happens spontaneously. There is no author or doership there. At the world level, various bodies are formed, and at the body level, we encounter the attraction of the body. First of all, our own body, then attraction of other bodies. Whatever happens in this concrete world, the instruments and the aids come from the space. The raw material comes from the space. The space is there prior to the light. When the light is collected together, it reflects as the sun. Since all this is difficult to understand, the best course suggested is to do bhajan. Determination of good or bad is made only through words. Words or sounds are expressions of the space. Only at word level does one think something good or bad will happen. When one identifies with the space, it is the end of good and bad. First of all, you identify something as being good or bad for yourself. Then, in an effort to acquire good or to get rid of the bad, you have invented a god. Then you worship such a god and do bhajan, and you pray to that God for something good to happen to you